Hey everybody, and welcome to the Varberg Store Championship X-Wing videos. This is the semi-finals of the top four cut. I'm Mike Dennis from the 186 Squadron Podcast, and I am joined by Alex Birt.
Hello.
Alex, you are the host of the 186 Squadron Podcast.
Indeed, it is nice to not be hosting.
This is a fun inversion, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Christopher is, of course, an honorary member of the 186 Squadron, so he's asked us to do some commentary for his YouTube channel, X-Wing Sweden.
Yes.
And I think I think he feels a little bit like he doesn't want to comment on his own game, so we're here to call him out. I don't actually know who wins this, so it's going to be fun for us to play the guessing game.
Yeah, we haven't watched this before. It's going to be interesting.
So we've got some interesting lists here. Now you've just come from Coruscant, Alex, so you've got lots of X-Wing 2.0 under your belt.
I've played one or two games.
And I've just played in the UKTC over here in the UK, so I played 5 games there, and I played with some barrage bombers, which Chris has.
I have also tried out the barrage bombers. They are quite scary, but they're not as scary as proton torpedo bombers. Those are a whole new level of scary.
Yeah, I thought the barrage bombers were scary, and then Redline came along.
Yeah. I wanted to mention this rock setup because Chris put down the three rocks closest to the bottom of the screen, right? It's kind of interesting. It's like a cluster, but not. I mean, it is, but I'm not really sure what they're going for here. So it'll be interesting to see how they set up.
Well, we have a rather excellent X-Wing player in our squadron called Ben Lee, who plays Whisper a lot, and he's referred to sort of a dense cluster of rocks in the middle as the what does he call it? The deadly roundabout, the wheel of death, something like that.
I think he got it the magic roundabout, but I could be
Magic
making that
roundabout.
up.
I think it should be something more deadly. But the premise is that you keep the Phantom decloaking around the rocks, keeping the cluster of rocks between it and the other ships.
Yeah, so that works, but his list here is kind of more sort of jousty swarmy, whereas Boba and Fen are kind of a little bit acier. So I would have thought that would be more in Matthias's favour, but obviously there's still the game to play out, so we'll see what happens.
Furthermore, I don't know if Chris has got any concerns about that Jakku gunrunner coming in and tractor beaming someone onto a rock.
Yeah, those things are nuts and way too cheap at 28 points. So if you're watching this after the great rebalancing and they're 60 points, you'll be like, why does this all fit? And that's why.
Yeah, you'll be looking at that Jakku gunrunner cost with Dead Man's Switch for 30 points going, this ain't right.
Yeah. It's interesting that he's got an Alpha Interceptor in there with the bombers as well, because they're both 34 points, I think. But just for a little PS1 blocker, because of the extra maneuverability, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, and the interesting thing, we've got Martin Chivers in our squadron who's been running a TIE Swarm with a alpha blocker as well, and he says that they are great. And I watched him play a few games with it in his preparation for Coruscant, and it was doing good work. So we'll see if it pays off here.
Well, I had a Saber squadron in my squad, and it was kind of the best of both worlds because there's a bunch of stuff that's around I4 and below, and it got to be proper AC in that situation. But against anything higher, the auto thrusters on the interceptors, being able to double reposition, is really handy for blocking.
Of course, the PS1 allows you to do that as well, whereas the PS2 on the scimitars means, the Jakku or whatever is going to be able to get in before them.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see in a sec who's got or who is first player. It's not called initiative anymore because that's what the initiative values are.
Yep, when you're talking in both languages, the language of 1.0 and 2.0, it's easy to get confused.
Yes, it is. So let's try and keep it to X-Wing rather than 1.0 because there's no point calling it 2.0 anymore.
I see. Very well then. Oh, so the scum are heading away from the swarm.
Gunrunner doesn't want to play today.
They're difficult to. Their ability is very good, but it is quite difficult to leverage.
Yeah, but I find the strength of them really is how they make your opponent fly and engage rather than actually triggering the space tug or whatever the ship ability is called now.
Yep. Well, we've discussed on our podcast in the past the effectiveness of abilities or the potential to take abilities that force your opponent into suboptimal moves. The prime example being the trajectory simulator on the Punisher. When are they going to throw that bomb in my face? I can't go straight forward towards this thing. Now I'm going to have to come up with some other tactic that might not be optimal.
Yeah,
And even if
exactly.
they never throw the bomb, you're still, suffering as a result of that cheap upgrade card.
Yeah. And obviously, with a kind of ACEA list, Sloan is going to have a similar kind of impact. Because obviously, Matthias is going to want to take out Whisper first so that he's not getting double stressed every time he calls a bomber.
Yeah, it's Echo.
Echo, even, yes. Same deal, really, I guess.
Well, I'm really excited to see how Echo runs because I used to love Echo back in Wave 4 of the original game. But she was just not really up to scratch because of the way that used to work. I'm trying not to get too much into 1.0 here. But yeah, I used to love Echo. So I've not had a chance to fly 2.0 Echo, and I'm very excited to see how this goes.
Yeah. So I'm kind of worried if Matthias is a little bit too kind of spread out at the moment, because if he wants to get shots in on Echo, like he's gonna want to go through those rocks. So
Mm.
my betting is that he's probably gonna turn away with Fen next round, and try and bait him to follow him round. But then um, he has the risk of just ending up with a bunch of barrage rockets in his face at not range 1. Man, Chris's list is very scary. I wouldn't want to be on the other side of that right now.
Crystal's list is scary. And we were talking about the virtues of the alpha, and something I was thinking about actually is that the alpha can come in fast, and it can play, range 1 sort of chicken with you, but and blocker act as a blocker as well. But what's interesting is that actually, because it's got 3 hull, you could take it off the board quite quickly and quite easily. But what that means is that if you decide to annihilate that, especially if you're, say, Boba Fett at range 1 or Fett at range 1, then all of the other lists has now got rerolls on you because of Sloan.
Yep, that is true.
And
Um,
that's a big deal because a bomber might not die to 1 round of shooting. It depends. But the interceptor, if it's playing chicken with you, could easily just blow up. But there's a big price to pay for that if that's what you said to do first, right?
yeah, well, I mean, you've really got to take out the Sloane carrier first. So she's kind of like an extra Uber Biggs, I guess, in a lot of ways. Um, because if you end up getting double stressed, like that's 2 turns without actions and um, a lot of shots that potentially getting rerolls on you.
Right. I mean, I guess yeah. Sloan is the got to be the prime target, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So
But with
Chris is
Echo,
going to
it's
be,
just so easy to keep her away.
yeah, yeah. Echo's repositioning is exceptional.
But also
Like,
really easy to get wrong. Like I lost count of the amount of times I accidentally decloaked and then 3 turned Echo and landed in the middle of the biggest rock.
yeah. Oh yeah. Even when I was flying Echo all the time, I used to make mistakes all the time as well.
Mm.
What would be cool? I feel like if I was running an Echo build, I'd have collision detector on her, and I'd be like, oh, it's so I can decloak over a rock and surprise you that one time, but it's actually there for when I make mistakes.
Yeah, I can't wait to try out collision detector. I think it's super solid.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong as well, but does collision detector? It's a round. It makes you immune to obstacles for a full round.
That particular obstacle. So the
That
way it's
particular
worded
obstacle.
is like when you overlap an obstacle, you can spend a charge token to ignore its effects until the end of the round. So if you end up like decloaking through one and then going over another, you have to spend both of your charges. Um, but you can just sort of
Land
decloak
on a
over them
rock,
indiscriminately.
but you
But
could
like,
decloak over the rock and land on it and still have an action and shoot.
yeah. So yeah, if you decloak onto it, then you like 1 turn, so you stay on it. Then you can ignore it entirely for the full turn and still get your shots. I can't remember how specific. It's pretty pointless us talking about this because there's no collision detector in this list.
Right.
But,
yes. Back to.
but at the
Sorry.
moment, all they're doing is sort of like stalling for an optimal engage. So I guess we've got some air to fill.
Well, maybe we should look a bit at Matthias's Boba Fett build then.
So this is basically the standard Boba Fett, or at least what is becoming what seems to be the current standard Boba Fett. Like, I'm not convinced by Debris Gambit, although some people have told me that the maths is sound when you have focus, which obviously you get with the Han Gunner. But I think that taking an escape craft and sort of pre-move reinforcing is a little bit more solid. But yeah, Han Solo with the Marauder title allows you to do a red focus action before you engage. 000 gives your opponent a stress or gives you a calculate token, and obviously Debris Gambit gives you the evade. So as long as you're within range 1 of an obstacle, you can end up with focus, evade, calculate, which seems pretty good, especially if you are in a good position with Bob to get your rerolls off.
Oh, no, that sounds like a classic token stack to me.
Yes, yeah, 3 tokens is pretty high.
Especially for 2.0.
Yeah,
sorry, X-Wing.
Yeah, especially for the latest edition of this game. So I think maybe like Chris here is winning the kind of battle of patience with Matthias boosting over to there. Because ideally, if Fenn can get into range 1 of those bombers, then he's golden. But if he ends up getting blocked by that Alpha and then taking a hail of barrage rockets at range 2 or 3, then he's going to have a bad time.
And it looks to me like he might have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
Because of the placement of that big old rock there.
Yeah.
But also just the distance. Closing that distance is going to be tough.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, unless he's kind of betting on Chris turning in this round. Maybe if he like banks away in boosts to try and get behind them after they go off the Boba Fett, that could work. But I'm not really sure if that's going to happen.
Well, he's got Predator rather than the traditional Fearless, which means that he could potentially be getting benefits from being out of arc as well.
Yep, true.
Which is an interesting choice. So that's 2 points more for Predator, isn't it? It's 3. Is Predator 3 points?
Fearless is 3. I think Predator.
Oh, it's Fearless 3.
Is slightly more.
Ah, see, I thought Fearless was 1, but that is. I might be thinking in old money.
You are definitely thinking in old money.
Right. So maybe they're the same price then. Here comes that happy little Alpha Squadron. Quite happy to be blown up and destroyed.
Oh, that's interesting. I was kind of half expecting him to kind of go around the big rock to potentially set up a block on Fenn if he tries to go around.
And here's something else interesting. He's decided not to decloak Echo, presumably because he doesn't want Echo to get blatted before his ships have a chance to get their rerolls.
Yeah, like staying cloaked and just taking the evade action is pretty solid anyway.
Yeah, then you'll have your 4 dice like a traditional Phantom.
Yeah. Or 5 if you're at range 3.
Of course, we all know that 5 green dice is pretty rubbish.
I mean, it can be, but it could also be pretty good.
Highly swingy. Is he going for a focus there? I think that's
I can't
a focus.
tell, to be honest, maybe.
It looks like a focus to me.
There probably is a correct answer, but I am not sure what it is.
Yeah, I think with 5 green dice, or even 4, focus is probably better.
Yeah.
So Boba managing to evade everyone's arcs.
Yeah, I quite like that positioning for Boba. It's just where is Fenn going to end up and stay safe? Like, is the answer anywhere? Ooh, he's boosting in diagonally. That's interesting.
That is interesting.
I would have expected him to boost in forwards so that he gets a closer shot on Echo.
Yeah, this really exposes his side arc to Echo's decloak next round.
Well, it's more that like at that angle, I don't know if he's got a shot on Echo, and it seems like he's going for one of the other ships, which doesn't seem like the best plan with Sloane on the table.
Yeah,
Because
and it
then
looks
that way
like
you can, if you boost it towards Echo, then he can do a shorter move, and then potentially boost to correct once Echo's moved to kind of keep up that pressure.
so here Fenn's just gone straight forward, but then barreled to range 3.
Yeah. Also, Predator is 2 points. Fearless
So it's
is
actually
3.
so it's cheaper than Fearless.
Yeah.
I wonder, maybe that was what is he on? He's on 195, so he could have gone Fearless if he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going in for the bomber with Boba. I guess he doesn't listen to our podcast, Alex.
Huh.
Oh, that looks like it's out.
So Fenn is safe for this round. Be interesting to see what happens once the dice start rolling.
Yeah, it looks like Chris is going to have some interesting choices next round then. Because this is now suddenly looking a bit better for Matthias in terms of the engagement here.
Yes.
If the bombers are all out of range of Fenn, I mean.
Yeah, because if Bomber gets blocked, then he still ends up with a focus, potentially a calculate, and a bunch of rerolls. So getting blocked is fine by him, really.
He just wants to make sure that he's shooting at Echo, right?
Yeah. But I mean, I can see why you wouldn't. Like, maybe soften up one of the bombers, because you're not going to kill a bomber with one Boba Fett shot. Did anything take damage there?
No, Chris evaded.
Okay.
Which is crazy because I've never seen
put
green.
Boba where you want. That's fine.
Yeah, God, Chris, you're supposed to put it back where it was. Yeah, it looks out. Some nice Cargo 2 range ruler there.
Yeah, is that from the ETC qualifier?
Yeah, it looks like it. Chris rolling much stronger red dice than Matthias here as well.
Yeah, but it's been 2 attacks, so come on. It's not expecting much to happen at this point. This will be the interesting round. So I'm wondering if Chris is just going to try and hunt down Fenn. Like Echo's in a pretty strong position to just bail out and still give the Sloane rerolls, which is strong.
I like Echo's position, although I suppose there's the danger of Boba doing a hard turn in, but that's the benefit of having that alpha there. It can just, well, I mean, the bombers could block Boba as well, to be fair. But I suppose that's not ideal because Boba's,
Well, in that position, you don't want to block him really, because then he's going to end up with all the tokens and his rerolls. You want to get one block in and then everyone else shooting him at range 2, which from that position I don't know is really achievable.
I don't think so. Oh. So it looks like Matthias' first player, which suits Chris, I suppose, because it means that Jakku can't tractor the interceptor after it moves.
Yes. Oh, interesting. K-turn. Did not expect that. I guess that could potentially block Fenn if he does the 2-turn, though. Oh, I like that. That's good. So yeah, going after Fenn, and just accepting that Boba's not going to kill a bomber in one round.
Looks like it.
Unless
I guess he had
a
to.
horrifying crit chain, but it's very unlikely.
I guess that he had to do the 5K because they don't have a 5 straight, do they?
They do not.
They used to, didn't they?
I don't believe so.
Oh.
They now have a 3K though, which is pretty neat. Nice block.
Yeah. See, that's much vastly superior to blocking the Bubba with the interceptor.
Oh, for sure.
There you go.
Yeah, because really, like, Echo is there to carry Sloane and run away, really.
Well, as you said, Jack's kind of like a big, so you really want her to be threatening, dancing around, forcing Matthias to chase her while the rest grind him down.
Mm-hmm. Oh, boost and then focus, presumably. So Fen is probably going to take no damage this round.
But the one that K turned now has a nice range one shot.
Yeah, an unmodded range one shot at Fen with Concord Dawn. Like, I wonder who's going to win that trade.
But doesn't Concord Dawn require you to be both in arc?
Nope.
Or is it just if Fen's in arc?
Just range one in arc of the attacker.
Good God, that's good.
So it got better in that respect, but now it changes rather than adds an evade. So
looks like he's decided not to link to action because he doesn't want to be stressed for the rerolls.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know what happened there. Oh, right. Bob is stressed Echo with 000. I guess Chris didn't want Boba to modify his shots against the interceptor, unless he's got a ranged one on that bomber out the back.
2 rerolls anyway, with Echo and the bomber at range 1 of him. That looks like a bunch of eyeballs getting a reroll from Predator.
So 2 evades. Nice. Oh, Chris second guessing himself. Nope, he doesn't want to do it. He's taking it back. Or does he?
Oh, no, at range 1 you just spend the focus and save the damage, I think.
No, I don't think he did. Oh, did he? No, he didn't. He's saving the focus for later. In my experience, this means that he won't roll another focus result.
Oh yeah, every time.
My personal philosophy is always spend the focus at your first opportunity because you inevitably will not have another one.
Yeah, I agree. So next up, I guess, is Bobber. We'll see if he pops that squint.
Well, 3 hits, looks like. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of paint on these green dice, and it's unfamiliar to me.
Well, yeah, I guess. So the trick is just roll enough of them, and eventually it will even out.
Yeah, that's what we've said. The best way to kill a phantom is keep shooting it until the dice fell.
Yeah.
Right, here we go.
Is he shooting Duke? Shooting Fen even?
Yep, this is Echo and Fen. Looks like Fen took a crit. Stunned pilot. So that's the same as the bombers got there, and that's when you go over or land on an obstacle, you take a damage?
I can't remember now. It's changed.
That's what I mean. Well, originally it was if you overlapped anything at the end of your movement, i.e. an obstacle or a ship.
Just obstacles now, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I think it's just obstacles, which I suppose is, I mean, interesting because the entire crit deck got worse except for that.
But that is not a crit that you want on Fen, if it's applying to ships. But yeah. I don't think it does.
No, it's not anymore. It looks like Fen got out of that largely unscathed. To be honest, I'm surprised to see him take a crit that's not damaged cockpit.
Well, damaged cockpit's not in the game anymore.
Well, that explains it. There's not even an equivalent, is there?
Not that I can remember. There's Panicked Pilot, which is like almost equally scary.
Oh yeah, that's the double stress one, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're playing a game with Sloan. So it looks like Jacker squeaked through a damage there on the interceptor, and the interceptor did nothing in return.
So Panicked Pilot is if, after you execute a maneuver, if you moved through or overlapped an obstacle, suffer 1 damage.
That's panicked pilot.
No, that's Stunned Pilot. Panicked Pilot just gives you 2
Done
stress
panicked.
tokens and then flips.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So this is a cool thing.
Oh, Mike,
Echo
your
has
sound has
cloaked.
just gone terrible.
Oh,
Like really,
okay.
really bad. I don't know
Do
what
we
to
need
do.
to pause for a minute?
Yeah.
Um, all right, Jack is moving. Oh, he's going to bump. Oh no, maybe not. No, that's a bump, isn't it?
Is it?
No, he's clear.
Oh, okay, nice.
Nicely done. They're going to tractor that. Yeah, tractor that. Bummer. Behind the rock. Nope, forward. I'm an Imperial player, so I don't really know about tractor beams at all.
You basically just keep away from them and hope for the best, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I only know about them in terms of trying to avoid them.
They can really mess you up. Right, to the point where the space tugs just need to die if I'm playing against them.
I had a joyful game against 7 space tugs at the UKTC.
When you say joyful,
Fortunately, it was the last game of the day and there was nothing at stake. So I don't think Echo's got a whole lot of good blue maneuvers here.
she's got 2 banks, 2 and 3 forward, I think.
Whoop. Okay, Bomber's doing a K-turn, so that forward wasn't really that impactful.
I guess it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. Depends where Fen ends up, I suppose.
Just one base out of range.
Yeah.
We're all K-turning to get in behind Fen. I guess we're targeting Fen then. I guess does that make sense? As a primary target? Or I would have gone for Boba, but am
It
I
kind
crazy?
of depends how quickly you can take out Fen, really. Like,
Hmm,
I mean, if nothing else, like going for Fen early means that he has to disengage and get a better position. So even if you don't end up killing him, like putting that pressure on early means that he has to bug out, and then you can focus on killing something else, which is quite often how I end up dealing with Fen.
that makes sense. For me, I was thinking can be. Boba's got more. Well, actually, to be fair, you could probably kill Fen faster if you get the right engagement on him.
Yeah, but I mean, you need to get that block in with something, and then get everything else shooting him at range 2. Ideally, like that is the place that he does not want to be, especially without tokens. But in getting shot at range 1, he's just gonna sort of shrug most of the stuff off. Really, it's nice with Bobber there. He's gonna get his reroll out of the back, and will get his Han Gunner focus, so he is happy.
He's going to get his reroll out the back from that's from
The Marauder
the
title.
Marauder title. That's right. I don't actually know what the Marauder is.
It's Kath Scarlet's Fire Spray.
Ah, so I guess we've whatever happened during the Disney cull of canon, Cat Scarlet stayed around.
In X-Wing, at least, yes. It's interesting because Janor's pilot and Kargatan pilot stayed, but the crew became Jyn Erso. Like, talking about rebels, that is completely not relevant to this game. But that's fine.
Well, Fenn looks like he's just trying to get out of there. And it seems, unfortunately, he's been blocked by his own Jakku Gunrunner. But maybe this
No,
boost
I
will
think
take
he's just
him
boosting past
away.
it, right?
Yeah, but it would have been better to boost the other way so he could turn around behind the bombers next turn.
That is true, yes.
But he couldn't boost the other way because the Gunrunner's there.
But I think that's all right. I think Fenn's reasonably happy there.
Yeah, but it seems like all the scum ships are pointing the wrong way with a bunch of bombers behind them.
Yeah. But then, like, Boba kind of wants stuff to be chasing him. I guess if Fenn has that shot there, then maybe he could put some damage into the interceptor, get things moving a bit.
Oh, that's a nice roll. Oh, there we go. There are those green blanks I'm used to.
Huh.
Oh, it's dead.
Yeah, there we go. See?
All right. So does that mean Fenn's going to take 2 stress now?
Sloane has to be at range 3 of the ship that blew up.
Ah, I see. I thought it was just the attacker, not the defender.
No.
So Echo not really in a great position to leverage Sloan.
Well, not for the Alpha, but from the 3 bombers, all good.
Poor Alpha. Never had a chance. I wonder if he took the Alpha because he didn't have another barrage rockets, because you only get 3 in the Imperial conversion kit, right?
That's right, actually. Yeah. Maybe. I just bought a bunch online.
I stole James Dowdall's,
Huh.
the co-host of the 186 Squadron Podcast.
Was he not using them, or did he just buy too many?
No, he bought a huge stack online before the price went up.
Fair. So has anyone done any damage to Fenn this round? I have not noticed. I can't see the paint.
We're just starting with the bombers shooting, but they are all on primaries, so it looks like there is no damage going through.
Fair.
He's just evaded the shot from the one in the middle. And I think now this is the bomber at the front firing at Boba. The barrage rockets. 1 evade, so 2 damage goes through. That looks like shield's down. And 1 hull damage.
So that's halfway through Boba. That's pretty good going.
Is he
So
10 health?
So from here, like, Boba hasn't got a lot of places to go. So, like, if those bombers can kind of swing around and kind of get Echo keeping him behind them, then they're going to be getting those rerolls from Han Gunner triggering and him being stressed. And Boba's not really going to want to kill anything.
Right, yeah, he's going to have to be very careful about using Han Gunner here.
Yeah.
Because of Sloan.
And obviously he's not using debris gambit because he's not in the asteroid field.
Well, the Jakku Gunrunner is making good use of his space tug tractor array.
Yes. Well, depends where that bomber ends up, I guess. With the quad jumper, you get into this kind of like little interesting mind game of like, okay, well, if they track to me where I think they're going to track to me, do I pick the move based on where I'm tracted to, or do I end up just taking the sensible normal move? Like, what is the optimal play there? I'm never quite sure.
I suppose you've got to be really good at eyeballing whether you can get something onto a rock or not as well. So one of the bombers, the bomber at the front here that's moving now, which was shot by Boba last turn, has taken a wounded pilot. Do we know what that is?
Wounded pilot.
I think if you take an action, you roll a die
Oh
and
yeah,
maybe
you
take a
roll a die
stress.
and take a stress. Yeah, that's the one.
Yep. Yeah, I inferred that from what Chris literally just did.
Aha.
He
I
took a
was
focus
busy.
action and then.
I was busy looking it up.
So is it if you roll a focus
If you
result?
roll a hit or crit, gain a stress token.
I must roll a hit then. Meanwhile, the rest of these bombers are just sort of lazily sliding forward. I think if Boba doesn't present an appealing target, that Jakku Gunrunner might not be long for this world.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want to let those gun runners live for too long, to be fair. So, yeah,
Is
very
Echo trying
much.
to get a shot? I think doesn't want the Jakku Gunrunner blocking him next to him, so it looks like he's trying to get shots on the space tug, but
Well,
Echo's not
it
that
might
arc
be
there.
more that like he can then decloak into the one bank, so that then the tug is blocked, whatever happens.
Hmm, that makes sense. I forgot the Phantoms have a one bank now. That's pretty cool.
No, I was thinking the one bank from the quad is the move that he'd want to do to track to one of the bombers there, right? So
Oh, yes,
if
yes, that
Echo
makes more sense.
decloaks with the two bank, she'll end up right in front of the one bank.
Right, of course, because Echo moves after the tug. Do I even X-Wing?
Exactly. I don't like that boost there. I don't know. I don't think like because that doesn't give Bobber a shot, and the bomber has barrage rockets on him now.
Yeah, I'm not
I
convinced
mean, I
by it
guess
either.
like just put Fen there and hope that he shoots Fen instead is also reasonably valid.
He has been focusing on Fen rather hard, so. And to be fair, I'd probably be tempted to shoot Fen here too.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy decision because like if you get the one good shot off, then that could be Fen down or like very close to down. But then equally, like, can you really pass up a shot on a 5 health bobber? If you're going to have rerolls active because I think he's in the bullseye anyway. And if Bobber ends up stressed, then that's like potentially as many rerolls as you want with a focus token, not taking any shots back. That's something's probably going to go through there.
Yeah. So here we go. This is Whisper into the Gunrunner. So I
Echo.
guess he did get arc. Echo. Thank you. Echo into the Gunrunner. I guess he did get arc. Looks like the Gunrunner has taken a damage. Or two or three.
Yeah,
But let us
three
know.
by the look of it.
Well,
Definitely
I think
three in total.
Chris will be keen to take it off the table this turn then, because I suppose he wants to try and avoid as much repercussion from that dead man switch as possible.
Yes, so he'll take 1 damage on that bomber, but I think he can probably live with that.
Yeah, that's preferable to taking damage on the other three next turn.
Checking the bullseye there for the reroll on the barrage rockets. Looks like he's got it.
Nice. That's a dead gun runner. The damage on the bomber there as well.
Yeah, that was very nicely set up.
Suddenly, I'm very much liking the way this looks in Chris's favor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
I mean,
one more round he could get Bobber, and then it's just cleaning up Fen. If he loses another couple of bombers in the meantime, it will be a harder game for sure. But if you can kind of keep up that pressure, then yeah, it's looking pretty good.
yeah, but the bombers are all pretty healthy despite their crits, and the, the scum are all shields down as well. Echo's not even touched. It's looking good.
Well, Fen doesn't even have shields.
You make a good point. That's scary. That's scary in this 2.0 world.
Mm. Yeah, especially with all the proton bombs flying around.
Here we go. Keeps taking stress from that crit.
Well, it's either take a focus or like repair the card. So I think I know what I'd pick.
As long as you're fine to keep doing the blue moves, you'll be all right.
Mm.
Echo wants to play.
So if Bobber is turned in there, he's going to have a very bad time. Like I'm kind of expecting maybe bank away and boost, but we'll see, I guess.
They don't have a hard 3 anymore, do they?
They do not. They have a hard 1 instead.
That's interesting. Oh yeah, he's fleeing the scene, which seems sensible.
Yeah.
See, now this is not a bad spot for a boost.
Yes. Yeah, basically.
I mean, if it's going to get you out of the no.
Well, it'll be out of arc as the one that's close to him. Oh, he's boosting forward.
Huh.
So that at least gives him a shot. And then does he? I think he's dropped range from the other 2 there.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That closer one might be just in. It's really hard to tell on the screen.
It is. Then K turning.
Yeah, then Fen can just kind of get stuck in and start giving those bombers a bad time. Assuming
Well, ideally, he could take that. In a perfect world, he'll take this one at the front off the board now.
Well, his attack's unmodified. His bomber's got a focus. It's reasonably unlikely.
Squeaks a crit through. Let's see what it is. Yeah, 4 damage. 3 into 3, but I mean, yeah. It is unlikely. Here's Boba. Nope. Safe. We've got a loose stabilizer on that bomber.
Mm.
Oh, he had 5 hull anyway. There was not really much of a chance.
Ah, yeah, he's fine then.
The loose stabilizer means that he can't perform straight maneuvers?
I think it means that they have to do a straight maneuver now. I have not learnt the damage deck yet. This is very amateurish commentary. I'm sorry for anybody who's listening. Yeah, so now it is after you execute a non-straight maneuver, suffer 1 damage and repair the card. So you have to go. It's basically the same. It's just a harsher penalty. Oh, he got Fen.
Oh. Well, meanwhile, Fen dies.
We were looking up the damage cards and got distracted. So yeah, this is terrible. So yeah, I guess he must have squeaked those 3 damage through with that barrage rocket. Ouch.
Fen was tokenless and sad.
Yeah, I think this is definitely Christopher's game now.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, he's dropping a seismic charge.
Nice.
I'm not convinced that's in range of that rock.
We'll see, I guess. It might be Justin. It's really hard to judge range on the screen, isn't it?
It is really hard. Bomber's going to have to start clearing crits now.
Yeah.
Loose stabilizer? I think. Yeah.
There's nowhere good for Bobber to go now, is there?
If it was me, I probably would have just gone like 1 forward. But.
Well, with Bobber or the bomber?
With Boba. I mean, Chris seems to be doing fine. I'm just trying to think how I would have played with Boba, but I'm not much of a fire spray player anyway,
Mm.
but he's quite well and truly trapped. There's just too many Imperial ships, really. They've got a good spread there as well to cover their bases.
I,
That missing the hard three is a big deal too.
oh yeah, for sure. It's really nice that the bombers now have barrel roll into linked lock. Like that is very handy sometimes.
All right. So where do you think Boba goes?
I don't know, like maybe like 2 bank, 1 bank boost, but and then try to sort of like zoom around the edge of the asteroid field and kind of come back in and get behind them later. But it's I think at this point he's just delaying the inevitable. Sad to say.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not going to have enough shots. I mean, in 2.0, with the way the damage race works in this game, this is pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. But
Yeah, although I don't think the damage race is that different to what it used to be. There's just like damage just sticks a lot better now.
yeah,
There's like fewer upgrade cards that allow you to ignore it.
but I feel like Old World Boba might have had some illicit upgrades and things like that that could have allowed him to get through a few nasty moments, whereas now they don't really exist in the same way. So this is bad news. This is not a good spot. Hey, it was range one.
Uh, guess the rock wasn't.
But it wasn't in range of anyone, so it didn't hit anyone.
Yeah, but now it kind of opens that corner up to like the bombers just kind of going through. So
Yeah, actually, not at all what Matthias wanted.
no. And on the plus
Having
side,
said
there's
that,
no target lock there, so he doesn't get his barrage rockets.
that's true.
No focus. I mean, he's got a lock.
Yeah, so it's just going to be tiny little blink, blink, blink guns.
Yeah.
But Whisper, it looks like Echo's got a shot.
Yeah, probably. I mean, this could be it for Bobber potentially, depending on how it ends up.
I think that this has got a very good chance of just murdering him. Yeah, that looks good. And yeah, there's a good chance
Better
he just
focus on the
dies.
attack as well, right? So Duke is very much active.
Yeah. Took one there, just one, I think, maybe two. Yeah.
Two. So Bob is
All
down to
right.
3. Looks like that bomber might be just out or just in. Ooh. It is only stupid blink guns, but they can make all the difference.
I see a blank and a hidden result. He's spinning the target lock.
Ooh.
Now we don't know what's going on.
Bold
It
move.
was a washout. Looks like nothing.
Yeah, everything missed.
He was using. He must have been using. He must have been using Sloan to do those rerolls.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Is the boost on the fire spray red then?
No, that's Han Gunner.
That was
Han
Han Gunner.
Gunner gives you the red focus action before you engage.
That's right. I think that's an interesting choice there, taking a stress when the bombers were all. I guess if you are going to do it when they're not firing the barrage rockets.
Yeah, exactly.
What's going on here? Oh, takes another
Still
stress
that
from
wounded
wounded
pilot.
pilot.
He's just bleeding
That's
from the
really
head, but
funny.
he's like really committed to the hunt.
the rush of blood has made him super focused.
Yeah.
That looks
Oh,
like he's going for a block. Do you think he
yeah.
barrel rolls?
Is Boba going to get past that rock, though? That is the question.
I think if he goes straight forward far enough, he will.
Yeah, but if he's done like the 3 forward, which is the fastest blue, I believe, that's going to be a little bit. It's going to be touch and go as to whether the back of the base fits in there, but that might just be the angle of the camera rather than.
I think that's the angle of the camera. I think this clears the rock for sure.
Board. Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got miles.
Yeah. The trick of the stream.
Yeah.
But again, now he's got an S range 1 on that bomber behind him.
Yeah, but
unfortunately, that's the one on 6 hull. Oh no, it's on 4.
There and just take shots from everything and hope that you can kill the bomber? Like, probably not, right?
Well, but then if you boost, where do you go? Because, yeah, it gets you out at further range, but if you do the curvy boost, you're not getting any. What I mean is that you've still got to be you've got to take something off the board here, right?
Yeah, you do. And let's be honest, it's not going to be the bomber that has 6 health, and it's probably not going to.
Sorry, it's actually they're all on 4. Actually, they're all on 4.
Oh, okay. Well, he's got there's a chance, but then he's probably going to have a bad time from Echo and the one that has the focus token out there on the furthest away.
See, I would do an evade here on Baba. Get that white evade off the debris gambit, and then you can stay at range 1 and get the rerolls as well. Oh, well, never mind. He's leaving.
Yeah.
I guess I was wrong. But I'm not the Baba pilot. And we're going for the stressful focus again. I don't think that's the best play there.
No, because he would have had the rerolls anyway. It might have even been better for him to just take a standard focus and then just bank on the Baba reroll to sort of see him through. But I don't know, man. I don't know if there was a reasonable answer that ends up winning him the game there, though.
No. Well, and we are in elimination, so Baba blanks out on the attack anyway. It looks like Echo's got this.
Yeah.
One more damage. Well, here we go. This could be it.
It could well be it. Powers, rockets, and rerolls.
But it is interesting how long it's taken for Chris to get the last 5 damage on Baba here. And I think that oh, there we go, blanks. That's it. That's game, right? I think if is it? Am I? No, it's not. He's down to 1. Okay.
The Baba that refused to die.
But I think if maybe if Bob had been a bit more involved in the engagement earlier on. Oh, time is called. That's game for sure. Well done, Chris. I guess he's going on to the final then.
Yeah. So for anybody watching, a lot of the planning was edited out, so that's why this has felt like less than 75 minutes.
Indeed, but
so yeah, last round. Can you get Bob?
Oh, this is the last round. Yeah. But there's no way for Boba to make up the points here.
No.
Yep.
The damage deck is savage, but it's not that savage.
Chris just loves repositioning that Boba.
Yeah.
I think that the scimitar at the back should fix his wounded pilot.
Well, we'll see, won't we?
Yes.
Huh.
No, he just focused. You have to roll the dice now, Chris.
Did he not fix it last turn then?
No, he didn't. He took another stress last turn.
Oh. Well, I guess if it's the last round, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah. Yeah. Echo's hunting. See if it can see if she can get that last shot. Nope. Bubba's off skis, and that's game.
And there we go.
All right. Well, Chris has clearly won that one by a large margin, so he'll be in the final. So it looks like we'll be back. Oh, hey, he's got our T-shirt on. Excellent. We'll be back for the final commentary, I think.
Yep. And if you like what you heard, check us out at the 186 Squadron Podcast on iTunes and all your usual podcast outlets.
Indeed. Indeed. And Alex will be joined on the podcast by Jesper and James, who are far more qualified to talk about X-Wing than I am. So.
And also Mike, despite his lack of qualifications, apparently.
Yeah, they keep me around like some kind of hyperactive mascot. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will see you in the next video on this channel.
Yeah, thank you.